What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be going over templates in FL Studio. I'm going to talk about why I like to use templates, what do my templates look like, and then lastly I'm going to show you guys how to set up your own template with your own plugins and do whatever you guys want to do so you can get a nice little workflow going. So first off, I'm going to start off with why do I use a template. So I really like using my templates just because it gives me a really fast workflow. If I want to make a beat, I get inspired, I find a sample I really want to chop up, I could just jump right into it. I already have a lot of my plugins that I know I'm going to use on there, and I just need to route things, and then it'll make my life a lot easier. And also, if you're an engineer, templates can be super, super duper useful if you just want to hop into a session really quickly and start recording. And so if you're making a beat with some artists or whatever, you got some people over, you don't know if you're really going to record, and then all of a sudden, just spur of the moment, you need to, then boom, 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 you could just hop into your template real quick, record them into your mixer track, and then just pop it right on and get a good quality vocal mix pretty much right off of the bat. So next off, I'm going to show you guys what my templates look like. So whenever I open up FL Studio, I make sure to keep a blank project open just so it loads fast. And then you want to go to File, New from Template, and then I got a couple different templates here. I got one for when I want to make melodies using my synthesizer. I have my beat template, and then I got my song template for when I want to record people's vocals. So first off, I'm going to show you guys my beat template. Now when you load right in, you're going to see it looks pretty much like a blank file, but we go into our mixer track, and this is really where I keep my template for. So I got my master chain, and I got my melody bus chain right here, and then I just got a whole lot of empty mixer tracks. So what happens right here, let's say I like to start my beats with my melody just to have a nice starting point. Or let's say I have a loop kit, right? And I just want to pull in a loop. Then the first thing that I drag into my FL Studio is going to instantly be on this mixer track right here, which is routed to my melody bus. And all that this is doing is a muted virtual mix rack and an EQ with just that high pass filter at 90 hertz. So this just immediately takes out any of the bass in my melody components. So when I start laying down my 808, it's not going to clash and I can hear things more clearly. And then when I get to the mixing component, I can turn on this virtual mix rack and really quick pop in here. And I already have something set. I have my ratio where I want it, my attack and release generally where I want it. I already have my high pass frequency right there. And I really like this compressor to add just a little bit of tone. So that's why I keep it muted, is because this will kind of change it even though nothing's really going on. And things like that is really helpful when you get your melody all the way placed down and you just route it onto that melody bus, and then you could treat them all at the same time within that bus. And so then finally we go on to my master, and I really like this master chain that I've kind of developed it over time. I like to keep my EQ here, take out some crazy frequencies that are just a little harsh, boost some frequencies that are going to allow for clarity. And then I really like the MOTT multi-band compressor, because then I can really tighten up my bass and take out a lot of the boominess that I like my bass with, because I really like a lot of the subs in my bass, but this 50 to 150 hertz range, it can sound really boomy if you don't really just kind of take a little bit of it out and tame it. And then I go on to just some light compression using this R compressor. I like it just to kind of tame everything just a little bit and keep everything like breathing the same air, so to speak. And then I use Crafter, this saturator that I really like, and I like to compress before I saturate just so that you don't have any crazy peaks hitting this peaker, because I like to use this to clip my master just the tiniest bit to get some really, really nice saturation out of it. And then finally, I use my mastering plugin, FGX2, another mastering compressor. This is really where a lot of my master compression happens. Output gain, there's a brick wall limiter right here. I get some really good information on like my LUFS, the decibel levels, and that's really all that I use for presets for my beats. So this is really what my beat preset looks like. Now let's go hop over and see what my vocal chain preset will look like. So now we pop over into my song preset, and you see it looks a little bit more hands-on. So I have a place for my beat to go, the main vocals to be routed to, I have an insert to record into, I have an ad-lib track, and a doubles track. And you can see I've taken some of the faders down, and I take the fader all the way down on where I'm going to record into, because otherwise it's going to be this feedback where you can hear yourself, but it'll be a little bit delayed and it really throws an artist off. It's just a little quirk of FL Studio. There should be a way to turn off monitoring when you record into it, but I keep on looking and looking and looking, and nothing works. So this is the solution that I found. And then you can see I've got a couple plugins on these. My main vocals, we just start off with Auto-Tune. You know how it is. We go straight into an EQ. Oh, what's that at? 91 hertz, right? And then we go into our virtual mix rack. You'll see I have a couple of different things. I got my specific vocal preset on here. Same EQ, very similar. This is just that compression for warmth again. I got a de-esser, compression, a little bit of high-end attenuation if I want to make the vocals a little bit brighter. I could turn it up. If they're too bright, I can kind of turn it down. And then we come over here. I got a thickness and a shimmer just to kind of bring out the lowness and the mids of a voice, or bring out the highness of a voice. And then just another EQ right here, just for broadband EQ to see if there's anything I need to boost up real quick. A compressor right there. And then another EQ. This one, I set the high pass at 100, but sometimes I tweak that if it's a little bit too harsh. And I, see if there's any more specific frequencies that I need to boost or take out. And that's really it for my main vocal. I don't like it to be too saturated, too crazy. If I need to add a reverb send in, I can, or just add reverb onto this chain, honestly. I keep it nice and simple. And then the ad-libs and the doubles, I just have high-pass filters on them. Nothing too crazy, too special. If I want to treat those, I will. But generally, I'll just leave them kind of as is, maybe add in some delay if I really want to. And then on my master, it's really that same chain again. Just EQ, multiband compressor, R compressor, crafter, and then FGX. And that's really it for my vocal chain. And so now I'm going to go over and show you guys how to start setting up your own. Right here, I got a new empty preset, and I'm going to show you guys how I would like to set up a chain just to start a beat with, let's say. Here we go, we got our insert one. I'm going to rename this as our melody bus. And then I just like to right click and find a random color and then press enter. It's really not that serious to me. And so let's say with my melody bus, all I want to do is just make sure I have an EQ high pass up to about 90, and then let's say we add in some compression, just leave that right there. And then you know what, maybe let's say we want some crafter on it, because you never know if you're going to want some saturation on there. And so this is going to be my melody bus right here. And so then let's route this. Right click right there, route this to only the melody bus. So then whenever you drag in a new plugin, it'll go right there. And so then on our master, we can set up this EQ. I'm going to change the first band and the 7th band to peaking rather than a high and a low shelf, just so that you can get that specific attenuation rather than have those shelves in there. Toss on our multi-band compression, reset that, and then go to the advanced, and then I just like to turn it off. We could set in our mastering plugin, whatever you guys like to use. I know FabFilter has some nice ones. I really like the Slate plugins. And the really cool thing about these presets is if you do very similar things most of the time, like I like to have about a 4.5 ratio on my compression, and then I find about -10 dBs where I usually want to start compressing at. Bring this attack down, release down as well. Just so that I don't have to do that exact same motion every time I make a beat, right? Because I know I'm not going to want my attack and release at 5. And you're going to want that ceiling at 0.1 dB. So that's all that I really do. And so let's say that this is all we want for our preset, nothing too special, nothing too crazy. You can really go insane if you want. If you like the same 4 drum sounds or whatever, like drag and drop them into here if you want, and then save that as a preset. So you could just start with the same sound and then just go right into the MIDI if you want to do that. But that's just not how I like to roll. So then let's go up here, we go to File, and then Save as Template. And then we're going to enter a template name. I'm going to call this one Tutorial. And then OK. The project and its data has been saved as a new project template. This new template is the current working project. That's a very, very important thing right there. So let's say you just started out your template. You're like, cool, let's go start making a beat with my new template. what you're going to want to do is, instead of making a beat right now, is go new from template, tutorial, because otherwise any change you make right now and save is going to be saved to your template, so the next time you open it, you're going to have a full beat as that template, which is not what you want. So make sure you do that if you want to start your new template right away. And that is really all that I have for you guys today. If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like or subscribe to me. I have melody loops kits that I drop every other week on the weekends. It's going to be this coming up weekend. I'm going to drop a new one. I try and do 10 new sounds in there for you guys. Some of them are pulled from beats that I upload throughout the week. Some of them are going to be completely new melody loops that you've never heard. So make sure to check those out. If you guys like how I make my melodies, I promise you're going to like them. It's completely free. I'll put them in the description of every single video. So go check those out if you want to, and be on the lookout. Follow me on Instagram. I post on my story whenever I drop those. So be on the lookout for that. And I hope you guys learned something today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.